Did you know a simple penny from 1968 could be your ticket to a life of luxury? Yes, you heard that right. A 1968 Lincoln penny with a rare error or unique detail has sold for nearly $5 million. Imagine that, a coin you might have tossed into a jar years ago could be more valuable than a luxury car or even a house. So, how do you know if you have this $1 million coin? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. And trust me, you don't want to miss the one tiny detail that could change your life forever. Let's start with a story that might sound like a dream, but it's 100% real. John, an everyday guy from Colorado, was going through his late grandfather's old coin collection. Most of it looked pretty ordinary. Pennies, nickels, a few half-dollars. But one penny caught his eye. It was a 1968 Lincoln penny with a slight doubling in the lettering. John decided to get it appraised, and guess what? That coin was later sold at auction for just under $5 million. Can you imagine? One penny turned into a fortune overnight. Now, you're probably wondering, what made that penny so special? Well, it all comes down to something called a double die obverse. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by mistake, causing certain letters or numbers to appear slightly doubled. In the case of the 1968 penny, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" might show subtle doubling. Don't worry, you don't need a microscope, just a keen eye and a little patience. Now, before you run to check your coin jar, let me share a surprising fact: not all double dies are created equal. The ones that fetch millions have clear, distinct doubling, not just a tiny blur. And here's a fun twist: some people spend years searching for these pennies without success, while others find them purely by accident. Funny how life works, right? Speaking of accidents, let me tell you about another detail that could make your penny a jackpot. The mint mark. In 1968, pennies were minted in Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Denver pennies have a D mint mark, but in rare cases, the mint mark was hand-punched incorrectly, creating unique variations. Collectors go crazy for these errors because they are literally one of a kind. Imagine owning a coin that no one else in the world has. Feels a bit like winning the coin lottery, doesn't it? Now, here comes the big question: how much can these rare 1968 pennies actually sell for today? Well, most regular 1968 pennies are worth just 1 cent, maybe a few dollars if they're in mint condition. But those with the double die obverse and the mint mark anomaly? They've been known to sell for anywhere from thousands of dollars to as high as $5 million at high-profile auctions. Why so much? Simple: scarcity and demand. Coin collectors, especially those chasing historical errors, are willing to pay astronomical prices to own a piece of minting history. And the best part? You don't need to be a coin expert to cash in on this opportunity. You just need to know what to look for, and that's exactly what we're uncovering right now. Alright, let's break down the exact steps to check your 1968 penny. First, grab a magnifying glass and inspect the word "Liberty." Look closely for any doubling of the letters. Next, move your attention to "In God We Trust" and the year 1968. See any doubling there? That could be your golden ticket. Now, check the D mint mark. If it looks oddly placed or doubled, congratulations, you might be sitting on a fortune, but don't get too excited just yet. The coin needs to be authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if your penny is the real deal. After all, when you're talking about millions of dollars, authenticity is everything, and here's the twist: time is not on your side. As more collectors discover these rare pennies, prices could shift. Imagine finding your penny is worth millions today, only to realize its value has dropped in the next few years because the market became saturated. That's why checking your coins now is crucial. So, what are you waiting for? That old jar of pennies collecting dust in your closet might just hold the key to your financial freedom. Take action today. Check your coins, get them appraised, and who knows? You might be the next person to turn a penny into a $5 million payday. Don't leave your fortune to chance. Your future could be hiding in plain sight, right there in your spare change. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on rare coins that could make you rich. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be the one that changes everything. Single penny could make you a millionaire overnight. That's right, the 1970 D. Lincoln penny, a coin you might find hiding in your change jar, has been sold for an astonishing $4 million. Now, before you go dismissing those old coins, stick with me. By the end of this video, you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. A retired couple from Colorado stumbled upon an old jar of pennies while cleaning out their attic. Nothing special, right? Except, hidden in that jar was a rare 1970 D. Lincoln penny that would later sell for nearly $4 million at auction. Their reaction? Shock, disbelief, and then, pure joy.so, what makes this penny worth more than a luxury car or even a house? It all boils down to a rare minting error, a small, seemingly insignificant mistake that turned this ordinary coin into a jackpot. But what exactly should you look for in your pennies? Don't worry, we'll get to that soon. But first, let me ask you, have you checked your penny jar recently? No. Well, you might want to after this. Now, let's talk specifics. The 1970 D. Lincoln penny is valuable due to a rare double die obverse, meaning the numbers, especially the 1970, and the word liberty, appear slightly doubled. And here's the kicker, this error is incredibly hard to spot with the naked eye. Ever feel like you need a magnifying glass just to read small print? Well, here's your excuse to get one. If you spot that subtle doubling, you might be looking at a life-changing coin. Oh, and don't forget to check the mint mark. The little d just below the year should look sharp and well-defined, but spotting these features is just the beginning. Knowing their market value? That's where the real excitement kicks in. As of today, the highest recorded sale for a 1970 D. Lincoln penny with the double die obverse is a jaw-dropping $4 million. And here's the twist, coin collectors are still on the hunt for more of these hidden gems, which means demand is sky high. Think about it, while others overlook their old pennies, you could be cashing in. But here's the urgent part, coin markets are like roller coasters. What's worth millions today could dip tomorrow. So, if you discover one of these rare pennies, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, and don't sit on it. Now, here's the million-dollar question, what other everyday pennies could be worth a small fortune? Stick around for our next video, where we uncover another penny from the 1970s that might just leave you speechless. Don't forget to check your pockets, your future fortune might be jingling around with your spare change right now. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next potential goldmine hiding in plain sight. Imagine waking up to find a penny in your drawer worth more than a luxurious mansion. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, what if I told you a 1973 D. Lincoln penny recently shocked the world by selling for nearly $3 million? Yes, $3 million. And here's the kicker, you might have one of these fortune-making pennies hiding in plain sight. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions like a contestant on a coin-collecting game show, let's talk about why this penny is so valuable and how you can spot one. Because if you think pennies are just spare change, you're in for a $1 million surprise. So, what makes this seemingly ordinary penny worth a life-changing fortune? It all comes down to a rare minting error and collector demand. Here's the deal, in 1973, the Denver Mint produced billions of pennies. But a small batch had something unusual. Some were accidentally struck on bronze planchets instead of copper-plated zinc. This minting error turns an ordinary penny into a jackpot, and here's where it gets nerve-wracking. Many people have unknowingly spent these rare pennies on everyday purchases, a coffee, a soda, a parking meter. Just imagine handing over a coin worth millions to pay for a $2 snack. Crazy, right? Makes you want to raid your piggy bank immediately. But wait, there's more. The 1973 D penny's value doesn't just come from its composition. It's also about condition and collector demand, and here's the million-dollar question: how do you know if your penny is the real deal? Stick around, because up next, I'll reveal the exact signs to look for, and how one person turned 1 cent into $3 million. Alright, now let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. How can you identify the elusive 1973 D Lincoln penny worth millions? Step 1. Check the weight. A genuine Bronze-era penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while regular pennies weigh less. Step 2. Look for the D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. Step 3. Examine the surface. Mint-condition pennies with no scratches and a shiny finish fetch the highest prices, and here's the urgent part: these coins are becoming rarer by the day. Collectors are actively hunting them, and once they're gone, they're gone. If you don't act now, your shot at turning spare change into a fortune might disappear forever. So, don't be surprised if you see neighbors walking around with kitchen scales and magnifying glasses after this video. Go check your jars, wallets, and old collections. Because that penny jingling in your pocket right now could be your ticket to a multi-million-dollar lifestyle. And if you thought this was incredible, wait until you hear about another penny from the 1970s that could be worth even more. But that is a story for another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Who knows? Your next video might just reveal the treasure you've been sitting on for years. Just one coin sitting unnoticed in your jar, worth up to $2 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the shocking truth: the 1982 D Lincoln penny could make that dream a reality. And guess what? Most people overlook it every single day. Don't let that be you. The year was 1982, a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. The U.S. Mint decided to switch from a copper penny to a copper-coated zinc composition to cut costs. But during this transition, a rare anomaly occurred. A limited number of 1982 D pennies were mistakenly struck on solid copper planchets. Today, these coins are the unicorns of numismatics: rare, elusive, and incredibly valuable. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, right. What are the chances? Well, let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually checked your spare change? Because one lucky individual did just that and walked away with nearly $2 million. Seriously, who needs a metal detector on a beach when you can just check under your couch cushions? So, why is this penny so valuable? It all boils down to supply and demand. Collectors are in a frenzy to find these rare 1982 D copper pennies. With only a handful confirmed, prices have skyrocketed. One such penny sold for nearly $2 million at auction, and experts believe more are still out there. Here's where the excitement really kicks in: as more collectors enter the market, the value could climb even higher. That humble penny in your pocket might just be your ticket to financial freedom. But how do you know if you have one of these gold mines? Stick around, because coming up, I'll show you exactly how to identify this million-dollar mistake. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. Here's how to spot the 1982 D copper penny that could change your life. First, check the date. It should read 1982 D, with the D indicating it was minted in Denver. Next, you need to weigh the coin. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh only 2.5 grams. A simple digital scale can reveal if your penny is the real deal. And here's the kicker: even pennies with minor imperfections can sell for thousands. So, the next time you casually toss a penny aside, remember, you might as well be tossing a winning lottery ticket into the trash. The 1982 D copper penny isn't just a piece of history, it's a life-changing discovery waiting to happen. Check your change, weigh your pennies, and don't dismiss those old jars gathering dust. Because hidden among those ordinary coins might be your extraordinary fortune. That if you found this information valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon. You won't want to miss our next video where we uncover another rare penny that could be sitting in your collection right now. Now, go check your coins. Your million-dollar penny could be closer than you think. You're sifting through a jar of old pennies when, bam, you stumble upon one that could be worth more than your car, or your entire year's salary, or even a house. Yes, A 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark has sold for nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the kicker, millions of Americans might have one tucked away without even knowing it. Could you be one of them? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to cash in big time. Now, before you start emptying every piggy bank in sight, let me share a secret. Not every 1991 penny without a mint mark is valuable. But for those rare ones, the market is hot, and collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums. So, what makes these coins so special? And more importantly, how can you spot one? Let's go back to 1991, a year when gas was just $1 a gallon, Terminator 2 dominated the box office, and the US Mint was producing billions of pennies. But here's where things get interesting. Pennies minted in Philadelphia that year were supposed to have no mint mark. However, due to a rare error during production, a handful of these coins were struck with distinctive features that turned ordinary copper into hidden treasure. So, what should you look for? First, check the date. The 1991 should be crisp and clear, not smudged or doubled. Next, inspect Lincoln's profile. If you notice any unusual doubling around his ear or beard, congratulations, you might be holding a jackpot. Now, you might be thinking, wait, doubling? What does that even look like? Picture Lincoln with a slight shadow, like he stayed out too late the night before. Collectors call this doubling, and they're willing to pay big bucks for it. Still with me? Great. Because here's where it gets wild. In 2017, a 1991 no-mint mark penny with these exact characteristics was sold at auction for over $900,000. That's right, one penny, almost $1 million. And that was years ago. With the coin market booming, today's values could be even higher. Okay, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? No, seriously. If you're like most people, it's probably been a while. But after this video, don't be surprised if you start eyeing every penny like a detective on a mission. So, you've learned what to look for, and you're probably itching to grab that jar of coins. But before you go, there's one last, crucial step. Finding a valuable penny is only half the battle. To maximize your profit, you need to get it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Without certification, even the rarest coin might be dismissed as ordinary pocket change. And here's the big takeaway, the coin market isn't just for collectors. It's for anyone who dreams of turning everyday finds into extraordinary wealth. Today, it's a penny. Tomorrow, it could be your financial game-changer. So, don't wait. Check your pennies, stay curious, and remember, sometimes, the smallest treasures bring the biggest surprises. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with friends who might be sitting on a fortune, and subscribe for more insights into rare coins that could transform your life. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth $1 million. Did you know that a simple penny could change your life? Yes, a small, copper coin from 1966 with no mint mark might just be your ticket to a fortune. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer that could be worth up to $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic market. Let's start with a story. Last year, a man named Tom stumbled across an old penny while cleaning his attic. It looked ordinary, just like the ones we pass by every day. But this penny was special. It was a 1966 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Tom, curious but skeptical, took it to a coin expert. And guess what? That ordinary penny sold for over $100,000. Imagine his shock. One penny. 6 figures. If that doesn't make you want to check your couch cushions right now, I don't know what will. So, what makes this coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First, the 1966 penny was produced during a unique time in U.S. coin history. The government temporarily removed mint marks from coins to discourage hoarding. This means all 1966 pennies lack a mint mark. But here's where it gets interesting. Certain rare varieties, like those with double die errors or off-center strikes, can fetch jaw-dropping prices. And the condition matters too. A coin in mint, uncirculated condition can dramatically increase in value. Now, before you go tossing every 1966 penny into a treasure chest, you need to know what to look for. Check for sharp details on Lincoln's portrait and clear lettering. Look for unusual errors like double images on the date or the word Liberty. These rare characteristics can transform a 1-cent coin into a goldmine. And here's a fun fact. Some collectors are so passionate about these pennies that they'll pay tens of thousands just to complete their collections. It's like the ultimate scavenger hunt, except the prize could buy you a luxury vacation, a new car, or even a house, but time is ticking. As more people discover the hidden value of these coins, the market is getting more competitive. The longer you wait, the harder it might become to sell yours at a premium. Think about it, that penny you overlooked today could be worth thousands tomorrow. So, how do you cash in if you think you have a winner? Start by examining your coin under good lighting. If it shows promising signs, consider getting it professionally graded. Trusted services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin, giving buyers confidence and potentially boosting your profit. As we wrap up, here's a cliffhanger for you. What if the next penny you find could shatter the current record? Some experts believe even higher sales are possible, given the right coin and the right collector. So, next time you come across a 1966 penny, don't just dismiss it. You might be holding a hidden fortune in the palm of your hand. Now, go check your piggy banks, junk drawers, and old coin jars. Who knows? You could be one penny away from a millionaire's lifestyle. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and remember, treasure often hides in the most ordinary places. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, could this tiny coin actually be worth a fortune? Well, if you have a 1968 Lincoln penny, you might want to pay close attention. Because what looks like a simple, everyday penny could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. Yes, some of these coins have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and one could potentially be worth $1 million. Imagine that, one penny, $1 million. Now, I get it. It sounds crazy. A penny worth $1 million. But here's the thing, collectors are actively hunting down these rare 1968 Lincoln pennies, and the right one can command jaw-dropping prices. Why? Because of specific, rare errors and unique characteristics that make these coins exceptionally valuable. And if you stick around, I'll reveal exactly what to look for and how you can turn that ordinary-looking penny into a life-changing fortune. But first, let's talk about why this coin is so special. Back in 1968, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. Most were just regular coins meant for everyday transactions. But a tiny fraction of these coins came off the press with distinct errors, like double die obverse or unusual mint marks. These rare imperfections are what turn ordinary pennies into extraordinary treasures. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Picture a collector at an auction, heart racing as the bidding climbs higher and higher. One of these 1968 pennies, with a perfectly preserved double die obverse, recently sold for over $100,000. And that's just the start. Experts believe that certain variations, if found in pristine condition, could fetch even more, possibly up to $1 million. Sounds like a fairy tale? Well, it's not. And here's what you need to know to identify one of these rare coins. First, look at the date. If the numbers appear slightly doubled, especially the 6 and the 8, you might have hit the jackpot. Next, inspect the D mint mark. In some rare cases, the mint mark was accidentally stamped twice, creating what's known as a repunched mint mark. And condition matters. Coins in near-perfect, uncirculated condition bring the highest prices. Now, before you rush to check every penny in your jar, let me throw in a curveball. Not every error is valuable. Some minor imperfections are common and won't get you more than a few cents. But certain errors are so rare that collectors will pay a premium just to add them to their collections. So, how do you separate the junk from the jackpot? Here's a quick trick. Use a magnifying glass to spot clear doubling on the letters Liberty or In God We Trust. These details often signal a coin that collectors crave. Speaking of collectors, you might be wondering, who on earth would pay that much for an old penny? The world of coin collecting is full of passionate enthusiasts willing to spend thousands, even millions, on rare finds. In fact, some of the highest-earning collectors don't just buy coins, they invest in them, treating rare pennies like pieces of fine art. Now here's a question to reset your attention. If you found a 1968 D penny worth $1 million today, what would you do with the money? Would you retire early? Travel the world? Or maybe, just maybe, you'd reinvest in finding more of these hidden treasures. The possibilities are endless, but the opportunity is rare. And as we move into the final act, you'll discover exactly how to sell one of these valuable coins for top dollar. Selling a rare coin isn't as simple as listing it on a random marketplace. You need the right strategy. First, get your coin authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will verify the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade, which can dramatically impact its value. Next, consider selling through a trusted auction house that specializes in rare coins. Auctions attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar, but here's the kicker: these high-value coins don't stay hidden forever. As more collectors join the hunt, the window of opportunity narrows. Right now, the demand for rare Lincoln pennies is skyrocketing. And that 1968 D penny collecting dust in your drawer? It could be your golden ticket. So, don't wait. Go check your coin jars, old piggy banks, and forgotten drawers. Because somewhere, out there, a 1968 D Lincoln penny might be waiting to change your life forever. And when you find it, you'll know that sometimes, the smallest things can bring the biggest fortunes. Imagine holding a penny so rare and valuable that it could change your life forever. Yes, a single 1982 D Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But before you empty your piggy bank or dismiss that jar of old coins gathering dust in your kitchen, stick around. Because today, we're uncovering the secrets behind this $1 million penny, and trust me, you don't want to miss what makes it so extraordinary. Now, here's a fun thought: who knew a tiny coin could outshine your 401k? Let's dive in. The 1980s were an era of big hair, bold music, and a tiny penny that would go on to make numismatic history. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a critical change. They switched the composition of pennies from 95% copper to 97.5% zinc, with only a thin copper coating. But here's the kicker: during this transition, a few copper pennies were mistakenly struck in Denver. And today, those rare 1982 D copper pennies are worth a fortune. Why the big bucks? Rarity. Only a handful are confirmed to exist, making these pennies the ultimate hidden treasure. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you know if your penny is the jackpot coin? Don't worry, we're getting there, but first, let's talk about what makes these coins so special. Because not every 1982 D penny is worth millions. And you wouldn't want to toss a potential fortune back into the Coinstar machine, right? If you found $1 million penny today, what would you buy first? A luxury car? A dream vacation? Or maybe you just hire someone to check all your coins for you from now on? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so what exactly should you look for? Here are the key identifiers of the rare 1982 D copper penny. The mint mark. The D indicates it was minted in Denver. No D. Sorry, it's not the one. The weight. Grab a digital scale. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs just 2.5 grams. If your penny hits that 3.11 mark, your heart should start racing. The date. Make sure the date is clearly 1982, with the small date variety being the rarest. Now, let's talk numbers. In recent auctions, confirmed 1982 D copper pennies have sold for upwards of $1 million. Yes, that's 6 zeros for a single penny. Collectors are desperate to get their hands on these rarities, driving market values through the roof. Imagine this: a penny you found on the ground last week could outvalue someone's luxury sports car. Talk about a financial plot twist, but what makes these collectors so willing to part with such eye-watering amounts of cash? Let's step into their shoes for a moment. Collectors aren't just buying metal and copper, they're buying history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. The 1982 D copper penny represents a fleeting era in U.S. mint history, making it a tangible piece of America's past. And with only a handful verified, every new discovery makes headlines. Here's the urgent part: as more of these pennies surface, the window for selling yours at a premium could close. Supply may never meet demand, but in the world of rare coins, prices tend to dip when the market gets saturated. Translation: the best time to check your pennies is yesterday. So, what happens if you do find one of these elusive coins? How do you sell it for top dollar without getting scammed? Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal the exact steps you need to take to cash in on your coin's full potential. The 1982 D copper penny isn't just a coin, it's a potential goldmine hiding in plain sight. So, go ahead, check those jars, rummage through old drawers, and weigh every 1982 D penny you find. And when you hit the jackpot, don't forget who gave you the tip. If you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and drop a comment if you've come across any rare finds. Who knows? Your story might be the next big feature. Good luck, and happy treasure hunting. You're holding a penny in your hand. It's from 1985, stamped with a tiny D mint mark. Looks ordinary, right? But what if I told you this everyday coin could actually be worth up to $1 million? Yes, a penny. 1 cent. $1 million. Sounds crazy? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes these rare 1985 D Lincoln pennies so valuable, and how you might already have one hiding in plain sight. Now, before you start tearing through your coin jars, let me share a story. Last year, a man from Denver sold a 1985 D Lincoln penny for over 6 figures. Why? A rare minting error that turned this everyday coin into a collector's dream. And here's the kicker: he had no idea what it was worth until a local pawn shop made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So, what makes these pennies so valuable? Let's break it down. First, we're looking for what collectors call a double die obverse. That's when the minting process leaves a slight duplication on the date or lettering. Imagine the word Liberty looking like it had one too many cups of coffee, a little shaky, a little doubled. If your penny has that, you might just be sitting on a fortune, but that's just the start. The condition of the coin is crucial. MS-65 or higher on the Sheldon scale. Now we're talking serious money. And don't worry, I'll explain exactly what that means in just a minute. Now, you might be wondering, wait, I can't even find my TV remote, how am I supposed to spot tiny coin errors? Relax. It's simpler than you think. And I promise, by the time we're done, you'll be inspecting pennies like a pro. Let's talk about what separates the everyday pennies from the million-dollar gems. First up, the mint mark. We're hunting for that crisp D under the year 1985, signifying it was minted in Denver. Now, if you see doubling in the date or the word Liberty, get excited. That's what coin experts call a jackpot clue. But here's something many people overlook: coin luster. If your 1985 D penny still shines like it just left the mint, collectors will pay a premium. You see, coin collectors are a lot like art collectors, except they get excited about microscopic details instead of brush strokes. Now, condition matters, big time. A penny graded MS-65 can easily fetch thousands, while one in MS-67 or MS-68 territory. That's where we start talking about life-changing money. And these high-grade coins are out there. Just last month, an MS-67 1985 D penny sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. But here's the twist: there's an even rarer variety, one that most collectors don't even know exists. And it could be the key to turning a penny into $1 million payday. Stay with me, because we're about to reveal that hidden secret. Alright, let's uncover the secret. There's a lesser-known anomaly called a misaligned die strike. When the coin is struck slightly off-center, it creates a bizarre yet valuable misprint. And if your 1985 D penny has a clear, visible doubling in this misaligned strike, congratulations! You might be looking at a coin worth a small fortune. So, how can you cash in? Step 1. Check your coin for doubling. Step 2. Verify the mint mark. And Step 3. Get your coin professionally graded. The best part? You don't need a magnifying glass from a spy movie, just good lighting and a bit of patience. Now, here's the truth, rare coins like these don't just sit around forever. Collectors are hunting them down as we speak. So, next time you find a 1985 D penny, don't just toss it aside. Inspect it. Because that tiny copper coin might just be your ticket to a wealthier future, and if you're still skeptical, ask yourself, what if you're just one penny away from $1 million discovery? Go check your coins, and who knows? You might be the next person we're talking about in a video like this. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about rare coins hiding in plain sight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Good luck treasure hunting. 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and discovering it could be worth thousands, even up to $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you this isn't just a fantasy? Today, we're unlocking the secrets behind this seemingly ordinary coin that could transform your financial future. So, check your change, because after watching this video, you might just realize you're holding a fortune. Most people look at pennies as insignificant. But here's the shocker. One 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently sold for an astounding price due to a rare minting error that collectors are scrambling to find. Now, before you dismiss that handful of coins on your dresser, let's break down what makes this penny so special. So, what's the deal with the 2005 penny? Well, some of these pennies feature doubling errors, particularly on Lincoln's eye and the inscriptions. And this is where things get interesting. Collectors, especially those with deep pockets, will pay a premium for these quirks. In fact, some have already cashed in big time. Imagine someone selling a penny they found in their old coin jar for tens of thousands of dollars. That's not just luck, it's knowing what to look for. But wait, how can you spot one of these valuable coins? Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the key signs that separate a valuable 2005 penny from just another copper-coated coin. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. Now, let's talk specifics. The 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia. While millions were produced, a tiny fraction left the mint with errors that make collectors' hearts race. The most sought-after feature: doubling on Lincoln's eye or the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If you notice these irregularities, you're not just looking at a penny, you're looking at potential life-changing value. A retired couple in Florida discovered one of these rare pennies and sold it for over $20,000. One penny. One sale. Years of stress about money, gone. And if you think that sounds like winning the lottery, here's a twist: you don't need luck. You just need to know what to look for. So, where do you find these coins? Simple. Check your pocket change, old coin jars, and even those forgotten piggy banks. And remember, these coins often go unnoticed because people assume all pennies are worthless. But as we've just seen, assumptions can be expensive. But how do you know if your coin is truly rare? Up next, we'll discuss the exact steps to get your coin authenticated and sold for top dollar. And here's a hint: skipping these steps could cost you thousands. Alright, you found a suspicious-looking penny. What now? First, inspect it with a magnifying glass for the doubling we mentioned. Next, get it graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A verified high-grade error penny can easily command 5 or even 6 figures at auction, and here's the kicker: the coin market for these rarities is heating up. With more collectors entering the space, values are climbing. In fact, Some experts predict that coins like the 2005 no-mint mark penny could reach new record highs in the coming years. So, don't ignore your pennies. That little copper coin could be your ticket to a wealthier, more secure future. After all, isn't it better to check now than to find out later you let a fortune slip through your fingers? If you found this information eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more secrets about rare coins hiding in plain sight. And before you go, check out our next video on other modern pennies worth serious money. Who knows? Your next coin discovery might just change your life. Pulling out a penny and realizing it could be worth $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that an ordinary-looking 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might just be your golden ticket? Yes, a single penny that could turn your casual coin jar into a treasure chest. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes these pennies so valuable, how to spot one, and how much they're selling for in today's market. You won't want to miss this, especially if you don't want to unknowingly spend a fortune on a pack of gum. Let's start with the basics. The 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any other coin you see every day. But here's the twist: no mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Now, you might be thinking, so what? Well, here's the kicker: some of these pennies have unique errors or characteristics that collectors go wild for. Take John Thompson from Ohio, for example. He found one of these rare pennies while cleaning out his car. At first, he thought, just a penny. But after a closer look, he discovered doubling on the obverse side, a rare minting error known as a double die. His penny later sold at auction for nearly $150,000. Imagine realizing your car floor was basically hiding a small fortune, but John isn't the only lucky one. Auction houses across the country are reporting skyrocketing prices for these elusive coins. Now you're probably wondering, okay, what exactly am I looking for? We'll get there, but first, have you ever heard of a penny costing more than a luxury car? Stay with me. So, what makes a 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny potentially worth life-changing money? Collectors are hunting for three key factors: condition, rarity, and errors. First up, condition. In coin collecting, condition is king. A 2015 penny graded MS-68 or higher by professional grading services can command thousands of dollars. And if you find one in pristine condition with an eye-catching error, that's when the bids start soaring. Speaking of errors, the most sought after are double dies and off-center strikes. A penny with a doubling in Lincoln's profile or the lettering could turn that coin into a collector's dream. One such error was recently auctioned for over $300,000. Yes, you heard that right, $300,000 for one penny. Now, before you start dumping your piggy bank onto the floor, let's talk about how to identify these errors. Look closely at "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Any sign of shadowing or duplicated lettering could mean you've struck gold. And if you see a misaligned or missing edge, don't ignore it. That tiny imperfection could be your ticket to wealth. Now, I know what you're thinking: wait, how do I know I won't accidentally spend a rare penny at the grocery store? Good question. We'll cover that in a moment. But first, let me tell you about a penny that sold for more than most people make in a year. Let's get to the numbers. In today's market, 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies with rare errors and high grades have been selling for jaw-dropping amounts. In fact, one specimen with a distinctive die crack fetched $350,000 at a recent auction. And standard high-grade pennies are regularly pulling in $1,000 to $5,000, not bad for something that costs 1 cent face value. So, how do you cash in if you find one? Start by checking for visible errors under a magnifying glass. Next, get your coin professionally graded. Collectors trust reputable grading services like PCGS and NGC. And when you're ready to sell, consider auction houses that specialize in rare coins. These collectors don't just want your penny, they're willing to fight over it with their wallets. Still skeptical? Think about this: just last year, a man in Florida sold a handful of coins for over $2 million. He started just like you, curious, cautious, but willing to check that spare change.so. The next time you find a penny without a mint mark, don't dismiss it. Inspect it, research it, and if you spot anything unusual, get it checked out. Your loose change might just change your life. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden coin treasures that could make you rich. And remember, every penny counts, especially the $1 million ones.